Assalamu alaikum. Ahlan wa sahlan wa marhaban bikum. You all are welcome back to Abu Jandal, and today we have another very important topic still on our verb formation or verb morphology. Recall that in the previous episodes we have explained that the verbs are categorized into four categories, and we said that the first category is the category of the al-thulathi al-mujarrad and al-thulathi al-mazid, and we said the second category is the category of al-ruba'i al-mujarrad and the al-ruba'i al-mazid. Then we narrowed down our discussion to al-thulathi al-mujarrad, which is the triliteral bare verbs, verbs which have the three letters as the original letters, and we said that these letters, if any of it is omitted, it will change the meaning. And we said that these verbs fall under 6 patterns. For those of us who have not watched these videos, you can click on the link above to watch the playlist and the videos under it so you understand this topic very well. Now, the patterns which the al-thulathi al-mujarrad, the triliteral bare verbs fall under, there are 6. The first one is the pattern of nasara yansuru. The second one is the pattern of daraba yadribu. Then we have fataha yaftahu. Then we have fariha yafrahu, hasiba yahsibu, and we have lastly karuma yakrumu. Today we want to look at how to form the past tenses of the Arabic verbs which are in this format. It is easier when you learn how to form the past tenses of these verbs generally, so that whenever you come across any word, you will know whether it is a past tense verb or a present tense verb or even a command tense verb. Now, let's look at how we can form the past tenses. We already know that all of these verbs are in their past tense forms. Nasara is a past tense verb, which means he helped. Then when you look at daraba, he beat in the past tense. When you look at what is it called? When you look at fataha, he opened. When you look at the other verbs, they are all in their past tense forms. But now, this past tense form only show the third person singular. Meaning, when the person who performed the action is in the past tense, this is what you are going to use. Like when you have he killed, you are going to use qatala. When you have he drank, you will use shariba. You can see all of these are in their past tense form. And any verb you come across in Arabic language, and this verb is a thulathi mujarrad, a triliteral verb, this verb will fall on either of this category. Now, when you look at this category, from the first category to the third one, that is nasara, daraba, and fataha, they are all the same in their formation in past tense, because they all have fatha in this middle letter, fatha, fatha, fatha. But when you come to the second two, which is the category 4 and 5, you see that there is some difference between it and the first 3, which is that the fourth category, which we have fariha, the rod there, which is the middle letter, is now carrying kisra, and hasiba, it is also carrying kisra. Coming to the last category, the rod, the karuma, it is carrying dhamma. So here we can subcategorize the verbs into 3. The past tense verb which carry fatha, and the past tense verb which carry kisra in the middle, and the past tense verb which carry dhamma in the middle. With this, we can simply say that all of the past tense verbs you will see in the Arabic language when talking about al-mujarrad, al-thulathi al-mujarrad, the 3-letter verbs, you will see that they fall under these 3 categories which I will mention. The first category is the category of fa'ala, with all of the letters carrying fatha. Second category is the category of fa'ila, with the second letter carrying kisra, and the last category is the category of fa'ula, with the second letter carrying dhamma. Now, to form this into the past tense, you know, when you talk about past tense, it is wide, because here we need to talk about the third person singular, third person plural, third person dual. You will talk about the second person singular, second person plural, and second person dual. You talk about the first person singular, first person dual, and first person plural. So let's begin by setting the table so you see how to fit in these past tenses into the table of the third person, second person, first person, singular, dual, and plural. Let's set the heading of the table. On the heading, you will see that we have the al-ghaib. Al-ghaib simply means the third person masculine singular, the third person masculine. Now, under al-ghaib, you will see some verbs that will come there. Then the next one, we have al-ghaiba, which means the third person feminine, when we are referring to the females. Then we have al-hadir or al-mukhatab, the second person, the person you're speaking to, when it is a male. Then you have al-mukhataba, that is the second person, female. Then lastly, you will have al-mutakallim, which is the first person, that is the speaker, like as I'm talking to you when we are many or when we are single. Then on this side, you will now see that we have al-mufrad, which means the singular. Then you have al-muthanna, the dual. And lastly, you have al-jam'u, which means the plural. Right away, we've been able to set the table, the headings of the table, both on the column side and on the row side. Now we move on to fit in the verbs. Let's take the most common verb pattern, most common past tense verb pattern, which is the pattern of fa'ala. If we have fa'ala, you see that a lot of verbs will follow this pattern, like daraba, kanasa, akala, qatala. So all of these verbs, whatever is applicable to this fa'ala will also be applicable to them. And the remaining other verbs which fall under the pattern of fa'ila and fa'ula. The difference you see will only be the attachment at the end of them, which is the attachment of pronouns that you see at the end of these verbs. Now, when we have al-ghaib coming to the table, when you have al-ghaib, which means the third person masculine, the male, and on this side you have the singular, the al-mufrad, meaning when you are talking about someone and he has performed an action in the past and this person is a singular person, what verb do you use? You simply use the original verb fa'ala, which means he did. So if you want to use the verb daraba, it will still mean he beats. If you are using the pattern karuma, the pattern of fa'ula, which is karuma, it will still be under here. If you are using the pattern of hasiba or fariha, it will also be under here. So all past tense verbs originally will be here because they come in the singular form. That is the basic pattern. So all of these verbs will mean he did. What did he do? He did something. So when you have daraba, he beat. Qatala, he killed. Hasiba, he counted or he think. Then fariha, he is joyous, he is happy. So all of these verbs meaning he became joyous. All of these verbs will fall under this pattern. So that is for he. So when you see any verb which comes in the three-letter word, just know that that verb is referring to the third person, he, meaning he has performed an action. It now depends on the meaning of the verb to know which action he has performed. And when you recite the Quran, you see these three-letter verbs in a lot of places. When we read the hadith or the Arabic books, you also come across these three-letter words and you know the meaning that it means he has performed an action. Now, let's move on to al-ghaiba. Al-ghaiba still under al-mufrad. Al-ghaiba, which means the third person female. When a female has performed an action, how do you say it? What do you need to do to this basic verb fataha, fariha, karuma to form she now? All you need to do is to make an attachment of ta'u tanis or ta'u sakin, a ta with the circle sign, with the zero sign, the ta with a sukun. When you add it to it, let's say we have the fa'ala, you add the ta'u tanis to it, it becomes fa'alat, which simply means she did. You are referring to a singular female third person, she did. All of the 6 patterns we have talked about can be fit in this way. Like when we take the pattern for daraba, it simply becomes darabat, she beats. When you take the pattern fariha, it becomes farihat. When you take the pattern karuma, he's honored, it becomes what? Karumat, she's honored. So to make it she, you only need to add ta'u tanis or ta'u sakin, ta'u musukun. So in the Quran, you also come across a lot of verbs which falls under this pattern. Like when you see the verb qatalat, when you see the verb qalat, wa qalat imra'atu imra'ah. So qalat means she said, while for a male it would be qala. So this is different between the third person male and the third person female. You only need to add the ta'u tanis to it. So all of the Arabic verbs which have 3 letters, this is how you form the third person male, third person female singulars. Now moving on to al-mukhatab, which is the second person. When we say second person, we simply mean by that the person you are facing, the person you are talking to. That is the second person. Now al-mukhatab, second person male. When he's a male, then under al-mufrad and he's single. If If you're talking to a single person and you want to use all of these verbs to talk to him in the past tense form, what do you say? What you need to do is you already have fa'ala. You now add ta'un mutaharrika, a ta that has fatha on top of it. So it simply becomes fa'alta. The only changes you make is that the lam now will be carrying sukun. It becomes fa'alta. Meaning, when you look at the other verb patterns like doroba, it becomes what? Dorobta. When you look at the second pattern, the third person, fataha, it becomes fatahta, which means you opened. Dorobta, you beat. When you look at the next pattern, which is the pattern of fariha, it becomes farihta. You can see the only changes is made to the ending. Only the third letter is being changed to carrying sukun. So we have farihta, you were joyous. When you come to hasiba, it becomes hasibita. When you come to karuma, it becomes karumta. So this is how to form this pattern. So when you see a verb in the Quran, you see maybe Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala use this pattern, you simply means it is referring to you. MashaAllah. Qatalta. You see qatalta. Romeita. Romeita. Wama romeita is romeita. So romeita means you throw. Romeita. You can see it coming in the pattern romeita, like fatahta, qatalta, and they are the same. What if you have a singular female that is the second person you're talking to her? How do you do this? All you need to do is to change the ta to t. So it becomes fa'alti. Looking at the first pattern, it becomes what? The first pattern, which is the pattern of Nasara, it is Nasarati, which means you female helped. Second pattern, Doroba, it becomes Dorobti, meaning you helped as a female. Third pattern, which is the pattern of Fataha, it becomes Fatahti, you opened, you female. Then next pattern, Farihti, next one, Hasibti, and next one, Karumti. So this is how to form this pattern. And lastly, on this column or on this row, you will see al-mutakallim. Al-mutakallim means the speaker, I. So the speaker here, it is the same word for both male and a female. So if you have a male, if I'm talking I'm a male or I'm a female, if I want to use a past tense verb to describe my action, all I need to do is to use the same thing that a female will use under the al-mufrad as long as I'm single. So all I need to do is to change the ta or the t to 2. So the 2 represents I. So from the first pattern, I will now have fa'altu, which means I did. Using the first pattern, it becomes nasarutu, I helped. Second pattern, it becomes what? Darabutu, I beat. Next pattern, it becomes what? Fatahtu, I opened. And the next pattern, it becomes farihtu, I am happy, or I was happy. I was happy. Then next, hasibtu and karumtu. So this is how to form this. So when I want to say I did something, it will be, I'll just add the to the verb. Kultu, I said. Dhahabtu, I went. Qataltu, I killed. Nimtu, I slept. So you see how to form this pattern as long as this verb is a 3-letter verb. Now coming to the next row, which is the row of the muthanna, which is a dual. When you're talking about two people right away, what are the verbs to use for both the third person, second person, and the first person? Now under al-ghaib, like the third person, when they are two, the verb which you have originally is the verb fa'ala. All you need to do is to add an alif to the end so that it will become the mad, and you drag it a little. Like the word is fa'ala originally, it becomes fa'ala, meaning both of them males did. When you have two males and you want to say they did something, you simply add alif to it, it becomes fa'ala. Now looking at the first pattern, which is the pattern of Nasara, it becomes Nasara, both of them helped. Second pattern, Doroba, it becomes Doroba, both of them beat. Next pattern, which is Fataha, becomes Fataha, they opened. So I can say Aliyun wa Muhammadun Fataha al-Bab. Ali and Muhammad opened the door, Fataha. So when you see in the Quran, maybe Allah says Qala, both of them said. Qatala, both of them killed. Nasara, both of them helped. Now moving on to the next column, which is the column of the al-ghaiba, the third person female. When you have two females and you want to say that both of them have performed an action, how do you say it? Here for the male, we use the pattern fa'ala. For the females now, you will simply use add ta'un with alif to it. It becomes fa'alata, fa'alata, qatalata, dorobata, nasarata, meaning both of them females perform the action. So if you want to say both females killed, you say qatalata. Both females opened, you say fatahata. I can say Maryamu wa Fatimatu fatahatal bab. Both Maryam and Fatima opened the door. So fatahata stands for both females. Now moving on to al-mukhatab, which is the second person male. When you have two males and they perform the action and they are the second person, you are talking to them right away. They are not absent, they are present with you. You are talking to them, you are the second person. What past tense verb do you use? How do you form the past tense verb? Let's look at the original word fa'ala. To form it now, you simply add tuma to it. So it becomes fa'al. So fa'ala, the last letter lam, will now be carrying sukun. Then you add tuma to it to make it fa'al tuma. Both of you did. So if you have two males and you want to say both of you did, you will simply say fa'al tuma and tuma fa'al tuma. Both of you did. We're looking at the first pattern, which is the pattern of Nasara. You will simply say Nasar tuma. Both of you helped. You can see they sound the same. You say Darab tuma, both of you beat. You say Fatah tuma, both of you opened. And this is how to form. So in the Quran you see Qatal tuma, both of you killed. Kul tuma, both of you said. Dhahab tuma, both of you went. So the tuma is a sign which shows that we're talking to two males and there are two males present in front of you. What if there are two females? It is the same. So here, what the word you use for two second person males and two second person females are the same. So when two females perform an action and they are in front of you, you want to talk to them that you did this, you use the same word fa'altuma. Both of you did. For two females, two males, or mixture of a male and a female. And moving to the last part, which is the al-mutakallim, the speaker. When you have two speakers and both of them did something, I want to say we both did. We are the speakers. I want to say we performed an action. All you need to add is to add na to the fa'ala that we already have, making the lam to now carry sukun. It becomes fa'alna, which means we both did. Fa'alna, both of us did. Looking at the first pattern, the pattern of Nasara, it becomes Nasarna, both of us helped. Both of us helped. I can say Nasarna al-qawma, we helped the people. What of the second pattern, Doroba? It becomes Dorobna, we both beat. Both of us beat. And the third pattern, the pattern of Fataha, we say Fatahna. I can say Fatahna al-baba, we both opened the door. This word for two people is the same for two and above. So the word fatahna, adding na to the verb, is the same thing when you have two and two above. Now this is clear. Let's move on to the very last row, which is the row of al-jam'u, the plural form of this past tense verb, which have three letters as their original letters. Under al-ghaib, the third person, when you have the third person and there are many, you have many people and you want to talk about an action which they have which you have performed in the past, what word do you use? And they are all males. The original word is fa'ala. So now to make it general for the third person males, you simply say fa'alu. You will add the wa to it. This wa is called the wa al-jama'a, the wa of plurality. So to make it show that you're talking about many people, you simply say fa'alu. Now bringing the patterns, the pattern of Nasara, it will also be Nasaru, they helped. The pattern of Doroba, Dorobu, they beat. The pattern of Fataha, Fatahu, they opened. And the pattern of Fariha, Farihu, the pattern of Hasiba, Hasibu, or this word is in the Quran, Hasibu, and the pattern of Kaluma, Kalumu, MashaAllah. This is where we have plenty males. So if you want to say plenty of them killed, Kotalu, 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 they killed. They ate, you say Akalu, they ate. So it is all the same to form this past tense. Now moving to Al-Ghaiba, third person, female, plural. If you have plenty females and you are talking about them, how do you form the past tense verb? Since the verb for plenty males is fa'alu, the verb for plenty females will be fa'alna. You simply add a nun with fatha to the fa'ala and make the lam to carry sukun and it becomes fa'alna. Spot the difference between this and the fa'alna, which we said was for the first person plural. When we have plenty males and we're talking about ourselves, plenty females, we're talking about ourselves, we say fa'alna, we all did. But if you have plenty females and you're talking about them, they're the third person, you will simply say fa'alna. You don't put the ali, just fa'alna. So this is the pattern. This is how to form this. This is the scale. Now we can bring other patterns to form it. If I want to say all the females helped, I will say fa'alna. An-nisa'u nasarna. The women helped. The women helped. Nasarna. Darabna, I will say at-talibatu or al-mudarrisatu darabna at-talibat. The female teachers beat the female students. Darabna. Then if we have fataha, you say al-banatu fatahna al-abwaba. The daughters or the girls open the doors. So fatahna, you can say how to form it. Fatahna, masha'Allah. Now moving on to al-mukhatab, that is second person male, then al-jamu plural. When you're talking to some people and there are many, I want to say that all of you performed an action and they are all males, masculine form, what word do you use? You simply add tum to it, tum to the verb, and the verb is fa'ala. You simply make it fa'altum, making the lam to carry sukun. It becomes fa'altum, which means you did. What if you want to say you all helped? It becomes nasarotum. In the Quran you say qataltum, you say kultum, then zahabtum, akaltum. So this is how to form this verb. So all of the pattern will also fit into this scale, and this scale will help you to understand how the verbs in the Arabic language, the past tense in the Arabic language, coming under three letters, how they are used, so that you don't get confused. Now, when we have al-mukhataba, the second person feminine, and they are plural. You have plenty females in front of you. You are talking to them. How do you form the verb? Instead of fa'altum, it becomes fa'altunna. For the males, you add tum. For the females, you add tunna. So you say fa'altunna, meaning you all did. For nasara, you say nasartunna. You all females helped. For fataha, it becomes fatahtunna, meaning you all opened. Qataltunna, you all killed females. Akaltunna, you all ate. Sharibtunna, you all drank. MashaAllah. So you can see the pattern, it is very easy. Now moving on to the very last on this table, it is for the al-mutakallim, the speaker. When we have plenty speakers, there are many in their plural form, whether males or females, we also use the same thing that we use for the dual as we said earlier. So we simply add na to the verb and it becomes fa'alna, we did, we all did. Qatalna, we all killed. Akalna, we all ate. Sharibna, we all drank. Nasarna, we all helped. So we is the na that you see there. With this, we have been able to set the table for you. Now to recap, we said earlier that we have 6 patterns for the Arabic verbs which have 3 letters. And we mention the 6 patterns to be the pattern of Nasara, Yansuru, which is the present tense. Then the pattern of Doroba, Yadoribu, the pattern of Fataha, Yaftahu, the pattern of Fariha, Yafrahu, the pattern of Hasiba, Yahsibu, and the pattern of Karuma, Yakrumu. And we said all of these patterns, in their past tense form, the only change that will occur is in their ending. So the past tense will look similar, only the meaning you will see. The only difference will be some of the patterns that have kisra in the second letter or dhamma in the second letter. This dhamma and the kisra, they will still be noted when forming their past tense, but the ending will be the same. And we have brought a lot of examples. Now let me give you one more example. Now if you want to form for the 6 patterns, the pattern of Nasara, the pattern of Fataha, and the pattern of Doroba will be the same. All true because they are similar in their formation. Fatah, Doroba, Nasara, Fataha, they all have Fatah in their middle letter. The same goes for the pattern of Fariha and Hasiba. They will also be the same. Hasibna, Farihna, because they are the same. And the pattern of Karuma, the same thing. And with this, you will now know when you come across any past tense verb in the Arabic language, you will know this is a past tense verb because of all the signs that you have seen. When you come across a verb, you will also know, is this for the third person or for the second person? Is this for the first person? Is this a singular past tense verb? Is this a dual past tense verb? Or is this a plural past tense verb? Is this a masculine past tense verb or a feminine past tense verb? Meaning you have 3 things to consider. The first one is the gender, the second one is the number, and the third one is the number, and the third one is the third person, the first person, and the second person. And with this, we come to the end of this episode. In our next episode, we would also move on to explaining how to form the Arabic present tense verb, which their past tense verbs are 3 letters. So there, you will also see that present tense verbs are similar in their formation. And from that, we will move further in order to better our understanding of the Arabic language. When you master the formation of the Arabic verbs, everything becomes easy, because this is what usually make it difficult for some of us to speak or to write in the Arabic language. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to bless you and bless me. Until we meet again, we'll be coming up with another nice episode. Do make sure, like, share with your friends so they participate and also earn reward by calling them to join you in this knowledge-based series, and hit on the subscription button to get frequent updates from us. Until we meet again, I say Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.